Hey yogis, happy Saturday night. So nice to be here to do a little yin practice together. So put on your favorite yin playlist. You can search for Spotify user, KX Yoga if you want to get one of our playlists. And if you're on our Patreon, we've posted the playlist there. Otherwise, just chill out with silence, no worries. But find a little space that suits you. Grab a pillow or two, and we're going to start tonight in whatever position suits you best. So feel into your body, and if laying completely flat on the floor would feel really good, Shavasana. If you prefer to lay on your front, child's pose, or come to a seat, maybe supporting the hips on a block or a cushion, that'd be great. But really just kind of tune in to what feels right for you and begin in a place that feels most appropriate. So get comfy, make some space, and start to settle into this feeling of being here, your body and your breath. You might start by rearranging a little bit. Like, don't let it be too heavy, like you have to be in one place and just stay there. Move around a little. Maybe roll through the hips or the shoulders, make a little space at the front of the hips or the front of the heart. And take some time to settle into your physical body. Tune into the sensations that are there, like feel your way in. And then start to soften. Not through a force or a pressure or a need to do it, but more like an invitation to softly start to settle. Start at the top, like let your head relax. Face, forehead, cheeks, jaw. Soften the neck, the chest, the shoulders. Soften even the arms all the way down to the hands. Let any restriction across the chest and belly relax. And start to feel the breath expand a little bit more easily as you relax all the way around the torso. And soften your hips, your thighs, your calves, relaxing all the way down into your toes. Spend a little time here inviting in relaxation, softness, and ease. And as you settle into whatever position you've chosen, let yourself really sink in. Support that with the breath. Take a big inflating inhale. And as you exhale, relax the whole physical body. Do that 2 more times. And inhale to feel the breath come in. And an exhale to allow yourself to relax. Do 1 more. Expansive inhale. And a sigh to release. And then just for a moment, spend a little time inviting softness and watching the breath. In our practice tonight, I invite you on an exploration of ease. Of what it means to let go enough to find space and softness. Ages ago, I was in a moment of feeling constricted, contracted, and overwhelmed. And I decided to meditate to try to relax. And yogis believe in this aspect of the self, the remover of obstacles, and they've named it Ganesha. Ganesha is this elephant who's really strong and stable and grounded, and a big presence that, could crash through obstacles. So this was what I was envisioning. Crashing through whatever obstacles were in my path. But this feeling of crashing into obstacles didn't seem to find the ease that I was after. How do you find ease? Not through crashing, not through pushing. So I invite you in our practice tonight to explore, how do you cultivate a sense of ease? In that moment, in that meditation, I came to this recognition that the way for me in that moment to find space was to let go of my feeling of needing to fix it. To let go of this feeling like I needed to push through to make something happen. And the letting go of the needing to make something happen gave me the ease that I was looking for. And I find that in my yin practice, when I hold a shape for a long time, if I force or if I push, it doesn't feel as good as if I let go and soften. So as we move through the practice tonight, focusing on the shoulders, the upper back, the chest, an area that can feel tight when we're trying to fix and control and make things happen. Please take your time to explore and in your own way to invite in ease. Let's take one more breath together here to fill up. Open the mouth to exhale, release. Take your time from whatever position you've started in to move the body. Roll the wrists, the ankles, take a big stretch, arms overhead, whatever feels good. And make your way eventually to a hands and knees tabletop position. No rush. The whole process of yin practice is to take our time. So keep embodying it wherever you can. As you find hands and knees, softly explore the physical body here. A little wriggle through the hips and shoulders, a little dip and arch through the spine. Knowing that the vast majority of this practice is stagnant and still, find the balance here of allowing fluid movement. Take it easy. Keep following your breath. And start to notice especially the way it feels in the chest, the shoulders, the upper back. You might even roll the shoulders a couple times to kind of suss out what you're starting with. And for the vast majority of us, there might be some tension, whether it's across the chest, tightness, the upper back, stiffness, or through the shoulders, some restriction or tension. And as we move through the practice, we'll explore how to create ease, create space, how to soften. Nice and easy as you're ready. Move your way back towards a centralized point of hands and knees. And then start to walk your knees back until you can thoughtfully and gently lower your chest all the way down onto the floor. Starting with our chest stretch or shoulder roll. Extend your right arm out to the side. I'm going to stand up a little so that you can see, but you're still laying down on your belly. Extend the right arm out to the right. Make sure the right elbow is in line with the right shoulder. Now you choose straight arm or bent elbow. Then put your right cheek down on the floor. Left hand presses under the left shoulder to roll the left hip and shoulder open. So you're finding like a twisted position where your right cheek is down and your right shoulder is down. The right arm is reaching back perpendicular to the body. Some people might like to stack their knees up towards the chest. It's very relaxed, easy through the lower back. Or if you've got more space, you can step your left foot open wide behind the right calf. Choose a place to begin. Left hand can stay pressing. It can come to the lower back or any other position with the legs and arms that feels expansive for you. And then start to soften, to heavy the body, to relax where it is tense, to soften where it is tight, to place less expectation and to invite in more softness. As a type A personality who likes to get things done, I find it quite difficult to relax and allow things to happen at their own time. I feel like maybe if I just put a little bit more effort or just make a little suggestion here or there, maybe things will get done better, faster, quicker, and more efficiently. But in my lifetime, I've noticed that the more effort I expend trying to fix or change or correct, the more stress I accumulate. The yin practice is a beautiful opportunity to explore what kind of depth, experience, and softness is possible when we don't push, don't force, don't fix. Instead, invite softening. Allow ease. Embody the quality of relaxation. But it's not so easy to quote unquote, just relax, take it easy, let go. So explore here, how do you allow that? How do you invite it in? How do you relax? Keep softening. Keep choosing openness and relaxation. Keep exploring. Take just one more long breath. If the left hand's behind you, bring it back down. And then take your time really thoughtfully to release down onto the belly. Oh, I felt that. Anybody else? Do a little wriggle, take a little movement, do whatever feels good for you. If you've been practicing these Saturdays with me before, you may know that these moments between are my favorite parts of the practice. Because as that type A personality who likes to get things done, I feel like I'm achieving something in each pose. But in the moments between, the achievement is only to rest. The fact of not having to do anything at all is a liberating feeling. Rest here. Enjoy the space between. One more breath. Same, other side. I'm going to switch sides so I can see you. But just extend the left arm gently to the left. Check that your left elbow is in line with your left shoulder. You choose straight or bent. Place the right hand down and peel the right hip and shoulder open. Now you choose with the left arm out behind you, left cheek down on the mat. Are you going to stack the knees? Are you going to step your right foot behind? Are you going to keep the right hand pressing or take it to the lower back? There's no right or wrong. There's just opportunities to explore. So choose what suits your body and find the space to connect wherever you go. Start to tune into the rhythm of your breath. You know what's interesting is that we can't really control whether our mind chooses to relax or not. We can't control the things that trigger us to be reactive, but we can always control the breath. And the breath and emotion are so closely tied. You know, different emotions evoke a different response in the breath. Anxiety, tighter, higher. Relaxation, deeper, lower. that while you may not be able to control your emotional responses, the beat of your heart, you can always control the breath. So our entry point to being more relaxed, no matter what, is to soften the breath. To choose to take more time with each inhale and each exhale. To practice that here. Not trying to control the mind, not trying to control the heart, not trying to control emotion. Soften the breath. Soften the body. So rather than forcing relaxation, you invite it. Relax the face. Relax the chest. Slow the breath. Take one more slow, deep breath in. Long breath out to slowly unwind, right hand to the mat, chest to the mat. Any way that feels good, a little wriggle. Oh, some blood back through that right shoulder. Do what you need to do, and when you can, pause for stillness. You might stack your palms under your forehead. No rush. If you need to keep moving, keep moving. When you can be still, please do. Easy breath. Relaxation through the body. A heavy softness. Now deepen your breath. And start to move the body a little. When you are ready, find your way to a hands and knees position, but you could slide back to child's pose first. Move around a little or a lot. And then once you're in hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. You might like a pillow or two in this next shape, so have them handy. Coming to puppy pose or anahatasana, an opener for the chest and upper back. You might put your pillow against your thighs, keeping the butt right over the knees. And then you start to walk your hands forward. If you've got a second pillow, a block, or a book, you can put it underneath the forehead. If you have heaps of space, you can untuck the chin, but be really thoughtful. Like the upper back and shoulder, especially in a hold like this, can be really sensitive. So butt above knees, chest towards the mat. I like to take my hands wider. I think it makes a little bit more space in the shoulders. And think about softening the shoulders back and away from the ears. Let the heaviness of the heart inform the softness of the upper back. And then find whatever techniques you have available to embody relaxation, to invite ease. Harmony is not found through force. So don't push or feel like you have to make it happen. Rather, relax into it. Heavy and soft. Embody the qualities of space and ease. Most often, to find ease, we can begin to explore acceptance. Knowing that often our struggle, our challenge is a perception of something we don't like, something we wish would change. So when you choose to accept what is, ease and relaxation occur naturally. What would it be like to accept that thing that feels like it's challenging? Like you don't like it, like you don't want it. When you could accept it just as it is. Not easy, but potentially life-changing. Slow, deep breath. Just 3 more breaths. Take 1 more breath. And then either slither forward onto your belly or slink back to child's pose. Or gently press up to hands and knees and then take a little movement. Anything that feels good. Reset, stretch, open. And then find somewhere to rest before we go to our next shape. You could come to child's pose, Shavasana, lay flat on your belly. Rest and breathe. When you're ready, start to take deeper breaths. Refill, prepare to move. And when you're ready, make your way to a seat from wherever you are, no rush. A few different variations for our next variety of shapes. We're going to open up the hips as we continue to open up through the shoulders, the chest, the upper back. So you get to choose either cow face or double pigeon, or if you wanted, you could take a really long hold in the butterfly pose. So if butterfly pose is your jam, soles of the feet together, knees open wide. In all these variations, you can sit up on a pillow to give your lower back a little bit more space, the hips a little bit more room to tilt. Alternatively, cow face pose. Let's take the left knee on the bottom, right knee over top. So the knees are stacked on top of each other. If that feels completely inaccessible, you could extend the bottom leg. Or if you prefer, figure 4 like a double pigeon, shins parallel to the top, knees stack over or under the ankles respectively. Or wherever you are, right leg is on top for our first side, or just remember which leg is on top so you can switch it for the next. Again, always an option to sit up on a pillow to give your lower back a little bit more space. Now here, take your hands behind your back and interlace. And then with the right leg on top, slide your fist over to your left hip. So the hands are together, back by your left hip. And then it's the left shoulder that tilts towards the left ear. Let there be some softness to the right side of the neck and the right shoulder, feeling heavy through the right hip. You might tilt the chin a little bit down, a little bit up, lengthen the neck a little, soften the shoulder a touch. Make tiny little modifications and adjustments to find a little bit more space down the side of the neck and shoulder. And then invite in lots of breath for a soft experience of presence. You know, oftentimes the things that challenge us, the struggles that we find in our lives, could be resolved easily by ourselves through a purposeful choice to change perspective. Listen, that doesn't mean it's easy. It actually perhaps is even more difficult. But it also means that you are in control of your relaxation, a feeling of freedom, the ability to find ease. So it might not be just simple or easy to do, but it's always available. Take, for example, any difficulty that you find in your life, any challenging situation you find yourself in. Like, for example, you're like, God, if they would just apologize to me, I could forgive them and move on. It's often like that, isn't it? That if one thing, somebody else could fix it, or change the way that they're behaving, I could relax. Or if the situation itself would just change, I could be at more ease. But what if the solution to find relaxation is that you decide to release your expectation? What if you could be fully accepting of the situation exactly as it is? Exactly as it is. Explore that here, like whatever tension you feel in your hip and your shoulder, you just let it be. You don't try to fix it. You just breathe softness into it. One more breath. Soften. Gently release the hands, gently release the legs. Take a little kick, a shimmy, a shake. And then we'll take the other side before we rest, just for a feeling of balance. So if you took cow face, this time left knee, or right knee on the bottom, left knee on the top, knees stack. If you took the shoelace version with the right leg extended, cool. Or if you took the figure 4, open eagle, box pose, whatever you're going to call it, variation where the ankles under knee, knees under ankle. You do you. Find that position that suits you. Rearrange as much as you need, and of course, sit up on a prop if that gives you space. Then hands go behind the back. Take a little moment, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And then shimmy the fist over to the right hip. Back behind you. Right shoulder softens towards the right ear. Soften. Relax. Let go. Soften. Soften the breath. Relax. Relax the body. and let go. Let go of this feeling like you need to make something happen. And find that wide space of freedom that comes when you just allow things to be what they are. Physically, energetically, mentally. You know, they say that all the things we learn through yoga philosophies or through this experience of being here in the physical body are things that we already know. And here we just remind ourselves of the things that are of purpose, of service to us, useful beliefs to remember. You already know that it's better to relax and be accepting. Of course you do. It's hard. It's hard to remember and it's hard to actualize. But through these practices, if you could just a tiny bit more relax, just a little bit more accept the situation that you're in, it's time well spent. So here, see if you can really embody that softening. Relax the head, the neck, the shoulders. Have a physical, somatic feeling of letting go. Let that support your ability to practice acceptance of what is. And find the space to settle into whatever circumstance you find yourself in with more ease. More peace. More acceptance. Take 2 more breaths. And then really thoughtfully release the hands. Oh, maybe take a little roll through the head, neck, and shoulders. Release the legs. Give it a little jiggle. Oh. Do whatever feels good. Move. Rearrange. And then find a little stillness, either lying down on your back in a seat or on your front. Just take a moment to pause. Two more slow, full breaths. As you delicately find your way back to the seat, we're setting up for my new favorite pose, if you've been with me in the last couple weeks, called pillow fish. So you need maybe a pillow or two, or at least a big pillow, maybe a block if you've got it. For pillow fish, you put a pillow under your head and one underneath your upper back. So the hips stay grounded. And you choose the position of the legs together, knees wide, maybe knees knocked together, feet wide, you choose. And then as you recline, let your upper back be caught by a pillow. Maybe that's enough, or maybe you've got another pillow underneath your head. You choose where the arms and legs are most comfortable and set up in that fashion. But the aim is to open the chest, so if it feels okay, you can expand the arms wide. And just give yourself a little bit of space. You know, the burden of thinking you need to fix everything is one that you don't need to carry. The burden of thinking you need to fix everything is something you don't need to carry. Instead, embody relaxation, invite in softness. Give yourself permission to just be exactly as you are, right here in this moment. So when I was doing this meditation ages ago, trying to remove whatever obstacles were in my life, calling upon this deity or element of myself, Ganesha, the remover of obstacles, realizing that smashing through obstacles didn't really embody the sense of ease I was after. I realized that this remover of obstacles was an internal decision, a change in perspective. The obstacles outside of us, sometimes we overcome. But what if we could just change the way we perceive them immediately? What if a shift could happen within us? What if you could give yourself permission to not have to fix everything? To not have to make everything perfect? What kind of feeling arrives when you choose to allow things to be as they are, outside of you and within you? What feeling does that cultivate? The yoga practice is such a nice time to explore these ideas that we have. Like here, you could lift your chest higher, you could push it more, you could force more opening. But that would create more tension in the physical body. It would actually create more restriction. And you would feel that sense of tension and that sense of restriction. So explore what it feels like to do less, to soften more. Can you feel that? That ease? Invite it in more. Let go more. Relax more. Accept being here. Three more breaths. Take one more full body inhale, like really inflate the chest and belly. Open the mouth, exhale all the way out. Really thoughtfully exit the shape. So you might put your hand under your head, chin to chest. Roll up. Go ahead and remove any props that you've got underneath your upper back or head. Little effort as possible, recline back down onto your back. Once you're there, do anything that you need. Move around, stretch out, wriggle, readjust. And then take a moment to pause. Chill out for a moment. And any still, soft position. From wherever you are, take a steady breath in. Cleansing exhale breath. Bend your knees, soles of the feet on the ground. Preparing for a twist. Shimmy the hips to the right, drop the knees to the left. You can stack the knees or intertwine them. You can extend the arms or land them somewhere on the body. Find a little space here. Twisting through the spine, knees left, right shoulder over to the right. To feel a sense of unwinding. There's an ancient yogi saying in Sanskrit that translates to bondage and liberation are in the mind. If you think you're bound, you're bound. And if you think you're liberated, you're liberated. And to translate to simple terms to modern context, if you stress yourself out in the mind, you're going to be stressed. If you choose to relax your mind, you're going to be relaxed. It seems too simple to be true, but it is. And I hope it gives us this feeling of empowerment. You get to choose to liberate yourself from an overthinking, overstressing mind to relaxation and space and peace. How? With your breath, with physical sensation, with a choice to be conscious, aware, and here, present to what's true in this moment, not wound up in the stories of the mind. So take 10 seconds here, a slow, deep breath in, and a long, releasing exhale. That's all the amount of time it takes to shift your perspective. 10 seconds to change the chemical reactions in the mind. To move from the reactive, stressy part of yourself to that wise, conscious, and open mind. You're in control. You just have to choose. When your mind feels stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, rearrange, realign, reconnect. Do it here with your breath and feeling your body to reset to presence. Take one more breath. And then gently, slowly, unwind. Twist feels so good. Shimmy your hips over to the left, drop your knees to the right, and find your twist to this side. Knees over to the right, hanging heavy, maybe supported by a prop. Left shoulder hanging heavy, sinking toward the earth. You choose the position of the gaze that feels most appropriate and soft for your neck tonight. And this is it. This is how, like, the little things are the big things. The things we do in the practice are the things that we do in our life. Make choices consciously based on feeling. So if your neck doesn't feel good that direction, don't put it in that direction. The same with your life. If your mind is super overoccupied, stressing about something, change the position. Reset. Get a new perspective. You know, they say if you've got a pair of sunglasses, you know, you have a nice pair of sunnies, but at some point they get all scratched up and yucky and they make your vision distorted and it looks like the world is all scratched up and foggy. You're not going to keep wearing those glasses forever. You're going to get a new pair. The same way here, if you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, don't just keep that perspective and keep that vision and keep fogging up your perspective. Take a moment, pause, reset, recalibrate, start again. Start fresh. Clear up your vision, your perspective by resetting to presence. Feel slow, deep breaths travel in. Conscious exhales empty out. And just like that, you're here in your physical body, in your breath, and out of the busyness of your mind. Reset. With breath. Try it here a few times. Just breathe and pay attention as much as you can. One more breath. Full exhale. Lovely. Gently come back to center. Give your hips a little swish, swish. Ooh, feels nice. And for our final shape before we rest, we'll take supported bridge. So grab whatever props you've got. Bend your knees, soles of the feet on the ground, and tuck your props underneath your lower back or like your butt cheeks, your hips. So you feel supported through the lower back and hips. Now for a lot of us, it's going to feel better to keep the knees bent. You can even knock the knees together. But if you've got lots of space and it's not compressing on the lower back, go ahead and extend your legs long. You choose where you position your arms, to the sides, overhead, or on the body somewhere. Let length come to the lower back, imagining your tailbone could extend towards the space between your knees. A tiny little curl of the pubic bone up towards the navel. And then relax into that space. Hips and shoulders heavy. The breath floating through the heart and the belly. You know, it's funny. Sometimes I feel like I've got to fix everything and make it all happen. Like life possibly couldn't continue if I don't fix it all. But when you think about it, like your heart beating and your body breathing are probably the two most essential things that could possibly happen for life. And they happen automatically. The biggest things are already taken care of. The sun rises, the sun sets, your heart beats, your body breathes. So take the pressure off. It's already happening. There's nothing you need to fix. Nothing you need to correct. Instead, maybe you can soften into the experience of watching life happen. Especially in a moment that feels contracted or stuck. Those moments where you feel like, God, I just don't know what I'm going to do here. What if you do nothing? What if you take the pressure off yourself? Like really, like what if you just relax? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? The practice of a yogi is to find balance in everything. To do what you can and to trust that it's enough and you don't have to try to control the outcome. So still, do what you can. But change the attitude to trust and surrender. Trust and surrender. Take one more breath just as you are. If your legs are straight, take your time. Bend your knees. Once your feet are grounded, press your soles into the floor. A gentle lift of the hips to release your props. And then take whatever movement you need before your final resting pose, Shavasana. Move around, stretch, reset. And then find just 3 or 4 minutes of complete rest. I'll ride you out when we're done, and I'll make sure we're done in less than an hour. But give yourself this time. As you extend your legs, relax your feet, open your palms, and soften your face. Practice the art of relaxation through an offering of acceptance. There's nothing you need to do here, but let go, relax, and drift. If you'd like to take some more time to rest, please feel free to stay. And no matter what, take one more moment to just be here as you are. To feel your body just as it is. Your breath, your heart, your mind. In whatever way feels appropriate to you, take a moment of acceptance, gratitude, presence. To acknowledge how incredibly capable your body is, how beautiful your heart, your mind, your breath. Take a moment to appreciate everything that you have and everything that makes you who you are in this moment. Feel the grace and space and peace that comes with any amount of acceptance. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. When you're ready, invite in movement, a wriggle, a stretch, whatever feels good. Take as long as you like to come to a seat. Good, roll to the side and then press up. And when you find a nice tall spine, bring your hands to prayer Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. Anjali meaning a divine offering. Hands to heart center together represents this feeling of connection that unites us all. The presence and acceptance and peace that we're all seeking lies within each of us equally. Thank you sincerely to every single one of you for choosing to spend an hour of your night connecting and sharing your beautiful energy with me here together. I know that that place of presence and acceptance and peace within me is that same exact place in every single one of you. And in this space, there's no difference or distance between any of us. So to acknowledge how we're all connected, we say to each other, Namaste. Thanks, yogis. It's sincerely such a pleasure to share from my living room to yours, from my heart to yours. And I really, truly hope that this brings you a sense of peace and connection and a practice of acceptance. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below or on our Patreon. And sincerely, thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you soon.